Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse, and I wanted to talk with you all today about some of the herbs that you should consider having around the house for flu season. The number one here is mullein, and as you can see, I have gone through a lot of it. We've been dealing with the flu here lately, and let me tell you, it was pretty nasty. The flu that we encountered this year was of a quite peculiar nature. Of course, came on as your standard flus did, with the chills, the body aches, and then rapidly went up to, in our case, 103.8-ish fever. And then with the use of diaphoretic herbs, was sweated out, came down, and then stayed low and came back up again. So basically the fever was transient for approximately 3 days until it was resolved. But the herbs that I want to talk about with you guys today are pretty important to consider having around, not only in the case for flu season, but honestly for everyday stuff. And a lot of these things we talk about in Medical Prep 301 after you take Medical Prep 101 and 201. So if you're interested, you can come out to class and learn more. But I want to cover a few of these things with you guys today. And the first here, kind of hard to do this way, but this is an example of dried mullein. And mullein is a plant that looks kind of like lamb's ear. It's a soft, very velvety like leaves, except it has a long stalk with yellowish flowers, and it's gold in herbal land. It's gold, and it grows freely, readily around the country in poor soils. I'll give you a link below to my favorite online bulk version of mullein that you can purchase, and also a couple of books that I recommend to help you figure out how to dose and how to prepare these different herbs different ways. But mullein is considered one of the great healing herbs of all time, and it's something that I think that you should consider having. It tends to go in the body where it is needed the most, and it also tends to exhibit very strong effect on the respiratory system, specifically helping to drain excess fluid from around the lungs and also around sinuses, etc. So it's a good thing to consider having. Another one, I'll put a link to this also in the description box below. This is the best form of oil of oregano that I have found commercially available on the market. It's Gaia. Whenever we're either anticipating dealing with someone who's sick or in the midst of sickness, we'll take between 1 to 3 of these a day at a minimum, with a max of approximately 6. That's just what we do, not necessarily for everybody. But another thing that I think you should consider having as far as herbs is this right here, Dr. Christopher's herbal cough syrup. This is fantastic, and it's pretty cheap. I want to say it's like $12 a bottle, something like that, but I'll put a link below. The herbs here that are present are the wild cherry bark, also horehound, which is a soothing herb, licorice root, which is also a soothing herb, and then marshmallow root. Marshmallow is something that you can actually purchase in bulk online, which I do. It needs to be dried, cut, and sifted. Marshmallow is one of the great demulcent herbs, and when I say demulcent, it adds, I'm going to try and simplify this. It adds moisture to areas that need moisture in order to deplete excess moisture. I know that kind of sounds weird, but it has to do with osmotic gradients, a bunch of fun stuff that maybe you remember from chemistry. But marshmallow, oh, marshmallow looks like sawdust, honestly, but it smells really sweet. And marshmallow is a very good addition. They actually used to make pills out of it back in the old school pharmacy day. The starch that come out from marshmallow, that's what they used to make their pills from, to make old school, compounding pharmacy pills. They don't make them from that as much anymore. Now it's like gelatin and weird stuff. But marshmallow is a really good herb to help soothe the respiratory tract, and also to help bring fluid up and out, to help your body expectorate it or cough it out. So it's a good herb to have as well. Now, when we're talking about fever specifically, there is a recommended methodology for dealing with fevers, and that is to give liberal amounts of diaphoretic herbs, diaphoretic teas. What is a diaphoretic? A diaphoretic is an herb that elicits a sweat response in the body. Some examples of diaphoretic herbs would be chamomile. Another example of a diaphoretic herb would be, catnip is technically a nerve vine. Yarrow is another good diaphoretic herb. A lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, we go over in class in Medical Prep 301. It is really critical, guys, for the management of disease and being able to take care of stuff at home. It's critical that you be able to not only know how to prepare different herbal concoctions, if you will, but also how to assess and see if your preparations are working, okay? And that's where having solid physical assessment skills comes into play, which is why Medical Prep 101 and 201 are their prerequisites for 301, right? But these are some things that I recommend you keeping in your home, not only in flu season, but also in your everyday life. There's a lot of things that these herbs are useful for. And again, I said I'll put a couple of links in the description box below to a couple of books that I recommend, as well as the products which I have shown you. But the last thing that I want to show you is the Dr. Christopher's preparation, and that is super garlic immune formula. And in the super garlic immune formula, a lot of people will take this just to keep themselves boosted up. But I'll tell you, as a care provider, as someone, if you are not sick and you are caring for people that are sick, you have to make sure that you take care of yourself. And for me, that means the oil of oregano. It also means tincture of elderberry. I use that regularly, but also the super garlic immune. And the herbs that are present in here are, of course, honey, garlic, apple cider vinegar, but also wormwood, marshmallow, go figure, oat bark, mullein, skullcap, and gravel root. And so I'll put links below. But these are things you should consider in making your winter herbal medical kit. These are things that you really should consider having. Mullein and marshmallow are way, way up there, but also the diaphoretic herbs. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you guys today. I've got the schedule out for the 2018 classes, staying mostly in the Southeast this year. But our first Medical Prep 101, 201, and 301 combo is in Knoxville, Tennessee, and that is in March. So it's coming right up around the bend. I'm going all over the South. Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Louisville, Kentucky is another place we're going, but also, of course, Knoxville, Tennessee, and then Valor Ridge. So check out the full schedule at the website. I would love to see you guys in class, and we can get together and learn all about the herbs, how to prepare them, how to dose them, all of these things in considering a well-rounded medical preparedness program for your family. I hope it was helpful for y'all. For now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.